fruit, nature's dessert, they call it. In my 20-something years of existence, I've had so many fruits, and I love so many of them. So we're going to put it in a tier list to see what is best from the rest. Green apple first. Sour. Hard to bite into. Those two reasons are keeping it out of S tier for me. I'm a person who likes it sliced the most. I don't like biting into it. My teeth are sensitive. I know it is what it is. But for me, that's going to be an A tier. And that's exactly what I'm going to put red apples as well. I think red apples is just above green for me personally. And it's for all of those reasons that I just said, except red or not sour like green. Apricot I've never had. Let me know if I should. Avocado. Tell you what, I didn't really love guacamole for a long, long time until I was about 20, 21, 22, and started to like it a bit more. So for me, I'm starting to see the appeal, but it's not something that I'm going to just put on top of toast and eggs for breakfast. Not there yet. It is really healthy. Recommend it if you like it, but that's where I'm going to put it there. Banana has to be one of the GOAT fruits, obviously, but at the same time, I don't like the consistency and texture of it in its form in the picture that you're seeing here. If it's freeze-dried, absolutely. If it's like a couple of them cut up really small in ice cream or yogurt, something like that, it's fine for me as well. But if you're talking about peeling it and eating it like that, the consistency is not for me personally. Hopefully somebody watching this can relate to that. So I'm going to put banana in B tier. Blackberries are really good, truthfully. I mean, I'm actually going to put it in A tier because of the seeds. It's easy to bite into, and I have enjoyed the taste. I used to pick them off of trees when I was really young in a cabin in North Carolina, so I have a little bit of nostalgia with it. But for me, I'm going to put blackberries in A tier. Black currant, I've not had this. Blueberries, this is my partner's favorite fruit overall. I don't really like how they're super squishy personally. That part of the consistency is not as good, but if we're talking about blueberry flavored stuff, it's really hard to beat. So I'm going to put that in A tier as well. Cantaloupe, I really don't like. Melons in general, as we probably will see later out throughout this list, I'm not a big fan of. Cantaloupe, if I ever get a fruit cup and it's like 80% cantaloupe, I'm so disappointed, and I swear that's what they're all like. So I am a very, very avid disliker of cantaloupe. Coconut. This has got to go into A tier. Honestly, really easily could go S tier personally. It's not something that you eat by itself very much, or I'm not aware of people who eat it by itself often, but as a complimentary, sort of seasoning, spice, addition, it's fantastic. Coconut is fire, and there's so many good uses for it in many different ways. So it's going to go A tier for me. Cherries. Cherries are really good. I may have to put cherries at, no, I want to put one S tier, but cherries, the pit inside is what's keeping it out of S tier for me. The flavor's good. You put it on top of ice cream, that iconic image that is what comes to mind first for me. The taste is good. It's just the pit inside of it I'm not a big fan of. But other than that, I think it's a great fruit. It's going to go in A tier. Cranberries we'll put in C tier. It's a pretty sour taste from what I remember of eating it the last time. It's not something that I've eaten in quite a while either, but at the same time, would I have cranberries or cantaloupe? Give me cranberries 10 out of 10 times. So for me, it's going to go C tier. Date we'll put in B tier. Just tastes like, a sweet almond from what I remember, or maybe it's like more of a bitter almond. I just remember that its consistency is like peanuts or almonds, so I'm going to put it in B tier. Dragon fruit I haven't had. A bit scared to have it as well, as the consistency does not look great, but if you love it, let me know. Durian I have never heard of. Fig I've had before. Ooh, it's nasty. It's really nasty. Fig Newtons, different story. Don't love it, but don't hate it. But figs by themselves, really gross to me. Gooseberry, never had it. Let me know what you think. Grapefruit. This is a bit of a new revelation for me. If we're talking about grapefruit with some sugar, that's kind of going to help cancel out some of that sourness. I really enjoy it personally. It is incredibly sour, yes. It's not something that I'm going to eat more than once every week, couple of weeks. But if I'm craving grapefruit with some sugar, I definitely recommend that you give it a shot. Here's our first S tier, and we're going to go ahead and put both of them right there. Grapes. If we're talking about the ones that pop when you chew into them, that's it. That is it. Probably my favorite fruits overall. If I had to put one above the other, I'd put white above red just because I feel like white are the more crunchy ones of the two, but it's a fantastic fruit. I recommend you eat and that I eat as often as possible. Kiwi, this is going to be a bit of a hot take. Again, it's a consistency thing for me. I don't like mushy stuff for the most part, and that's what kiwis are. So it can't go any higher than C tier, but it does smell good at the same time. So I'll put it C tier. I know it has so many lovers of it. That's where I'm going to put it. Lemons by itself should probably go into D tier, truthfully, as there's really not many redeeming qualities. But if you put it on top of something else, I mean, lemon really can change the game in terms of protein, in terms of salads. It's a really good addition to a lot of dishes. Lemon's B tier. Exact same reasons. I'm putting lime in B tier as well. Lychee, I have never heard of. Let me know if I should have it. Mangoes. Mangoes are so good. Mangoes are so good. The consistency, as I've said so many times, I'm not the biggest fan of, but it tastes fantastic. And for me, it's got to go into S tier. Nectarine. I think I've had one of these before. I don't really remember liking it, truthfully. I think I have to probably revisit. It looks like a peach to me. Maybe it's just like a peach. So I'm from Georgia in the United States. The peach is our state fruit, obviously. I like peaches, so I'll put them into A tier. It's not something I eat often, but I'll keep nectarine down here as I don't remember having it more than once. So if they're very similar to peaches, then let me know. Orange, straight to S tier. You could eat it by itself. You could put it on drinks, salads. I mean, it's very versatile and at the same time tastes very good. Florida, they have an endless amount of them, and I had it a lot growing up. So the nostalgia combined with those flavor reasons I just mentioned, it's going to go into S tier. Papaya I've never had. Would love to try. Exact same thing with passionate from miles away. Passionate fruit. Pear, really good. I'm going to put pear in A tier. It's a bit more sour than apples from what I remember. Maybe not a green apple, but it's pretty good and something that is a good change up from apples personally if you're not just feeling that. Persimmon, I definitely am not pronouncing that correctly. Tell me how to pronounce it if you wish. It's going to go into never tried. Pineapple, straight to S tier. Fantastic fruit. Fantastic with so many things. Fantastic. You can slice it. You can cube it. You can dice it. I mean, make it into a column, whatever you want. It's great. On the beach, in the mountains, in the desert. Pineapple, fire. Plum, I've never had. Don't want to have truly. Actually, no, I have, and it's disgusting. Yep, I've had plums before. I think one time, remember hating it and really never wanting it again, so that's why it's going to go D. Pomegranate is a bit of a more interesting one. Such a unique fruit in its own right as you're eating the seeds, I believe they're called. Maybe not seeds, but the small things inside of the pomegranate. They taste good. They are a bit chewy as they get stuck in your teeth, but I like it overall. Pomelo, I've never heard of it. Let me know if I should try it. Raspberries are really good, and I think they've only grown on me, truthfully, as I've gotten older. I'll put it into A tier, and you can eat it with a lot of things similar. It is a bit chewy in terms of easy to bite into, but you don't really get the seeds that you get from blackberries, so for me, it's going to go into A tier. Red currant, another one I'm definitely mispronouncing. It's going to go into never tried. Same thing with star fruit. I would try star fruit. It actually looks kind of good. Strawberries, straight to S tier. Frozen, dried, freeze-dried, however you want to prepare these, they are fantastic. Honestly, it may go to the very top. I think strawberries are probably my favorite fruit. You can find everything with the strawberry flavor. If it has a fruit flavored, and that's for a reason, everybody loves it for good reason. Ice cream, smoothies, salads. I mean, you could do whatever you want with strawberry. Tangerine, we'll put it just above orange. The Cutie ones, that brand, they always knock it out of the park. It's a smaller orange that is easier to peel apart and doesn't have as much like acidic of a taste to me. So tangerines are fantastic. Gonna go straight into S tier. The same thing with watermelon. In the summertime, I mean, it's elite to me with some fried chicken. You're absolutely cooking with watermelon and fried chicken. So for me, it's got to go S tier. Really, really, really good fruit that I recommend to everyone. Some people don't like it, as they say it tastes like nothing. Fair criticism, but I completely disagree. Honeydew tastes the exact same to me as cantaloupe. Truthfully, we're going to put all of these down here far, far back. These two make up so much of the fruit cups that you see in restaurants and in stores, and I get so disappointed when that's the case. I worked in a restaurant where I was the person making the fruit cups for people when they ordered it as a side item, and I was like so intentional on trying to not have the fruit cup just be these two. So that's my reasoning. It is so gross. I don't like melons, and these two are not good to me. Asian pear, never had. Would love to try. Guava, I don't think I've had a guava either, truthfully, but I would love to try. It actually looks pretty good. Blood orange, maybe I've had one, but I can't remember the taste, so I'll put it in C tier. I think I've had one. I just can't remember exactly what it was like. Same thing with custard apple. Same thing with ground cherry, never had. Kumquat, never had, never want to try. Mulberry, I can't even tell what this is. It kind of looks like blackberries, but I can't quite tell. So I'm going to put it in never had. We're going to put the rest here, just rapid fire that I've never had, so we can finish out with some rankings. White currant. I remember there was another currant in here somewhere. Where is it? Where is it? Well, I can't. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Red and white. They look like grapes. I've never had it. That's what we're doing anyway. Oh, it looks like I just clicked out of presentation mode, but we're back in it here for these last few. Sour cherry, jackfruit, mangosteen, Rubiton, never had either of those. Jackfruit, never had that. And we're at our last two here with sour cherry and raisins. Sour cherry can't go higher than cherry itself. It probably is going to be C tier because it's a nice change up from cherries, but I can't think of an instance where I would prefer that to regular ones. So obviously I'd rather have it than anything in D tier, but it's not something I'm going to really seek out. And finally, we have raisins. Raisins. This is an interesting one. Some that I like in small quantities, but not, in an excessive amount. I think we're going to finish out with raisins in B tier, and for those reasons that I just said, it's not something I seek out often, but something that I prefer more than anything in C tier for sure. If you're still watching up to this point in the video, man, I appreciate you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate it again. Like the video, subscribe to the channel for more tier lists and content from me. Thank you for looking at these this tier list. How would you change things around? What do you think I'm wrong with? Where do you think I'm correct? Which of the ones that I've not tried should I go and get first? And from here, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you again for watching. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one very soon.